igwe n'ụwa, ọ bụ igwe ma ọ na-egwu n'igwe nwa, ọ bụ igwe n'ụwa ya, ọ bụ igwe kaka, igwe emechabuo mmadụ ha, igwe emechabuo ike ka code red abụ mmadụ ha, code red abụ ike ka kabunam n'ọgọ ha. Abrunem T Ofuma. Code red. I'm tired. What the Nini Marino? I'm just beginning. Welcome, the greatest man alive. Chimoge here. That's my given name. Government name, Chimoge Chijuke Ibe. I'm just gonna greet as I go, because I'm just gonna go. This is okay, let me I will just begin, and the greetings will be sprinkled throughout. As always, I'm on the way to do something else, but this is important. Supporting Donald Trump is pure evil. Now, I'm just going to say two things on that. One, I've seen a lot of people come out and say support Donald Trump who are very much against his idea in how they presented themselves publicly. And I'll just give this example. Any woman who has displayed, I'll just say, womanhood publicly as part of their public persona has gone against the anti-life idea of republicanism, and then whatever you want to call Donald Trump does that advances that. So when I see people like that coming out and saying they support Trump, I know that something bad is going on. This is what I mean. I think it's clear, and yes, this is code red. I understand this could put some people in bad situations, but there's nothing, because Nick Cannon's in a different category. But when I see people like that saying they support Trump, it's clear to me that some people are being pressured and or worse into supporting Trump. And I want to say this. There have been allegations of acts of evil influencing Donald Trump's victory in the past. I'm not saying that any election was rigged. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, I haven't seen proof of that. But at some point in society, we have to go deeper. Ask yourself, why would any woman vote for Donald Trump? Could there not be pressures in her personal life that are not her fault that influence the casting of the ballot? I'm very serious here. So I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to say it. For me, for the time being, I'm just not going to publicly target any woman who is saying they support Trump, because I think something is going on. Because after all, Trump is the individual who has been a brazen abuser of younger people in office in a way that has been unseen in recent times. And he's done other brazen things. That kind of brazen evil must be supported by a certain brazen character internally and also a certain brazen support base. And such people are reactionary enough to compel outward support that does not match someone's inward desire. Okay, there's that. Now let's look at Nick Cannon. Made headlines saying I support Trump. Nick Cannon is in a different category because Donald Trump advances basically everything bad. But really, the spine of Donald Trump's evil agenda mixes two things. One, white supremacy, and two, male supremacy. So it's one of those things where you see, as a man, you just have to be very clear about where you stand. You see, it gives off a certain image if a man, even if he is black, comes out and says, I support Trump. You see, you look like LA. Okay, LA can take many forms. Yes, LA can masquerade as Onyoji. You see, I don't like talking about it because he left office, but I went in on Joe Biden after he got elected and while he was running. And I went in on him for two reasons. One, and the chief reason is this: I didn't think I needed to comment on Trump. Especially because at that time, due to both my life experience and the developments I saw, I was focused on getting black people, and most especially black people who present in a way that is obviously black to most people. Although, again, I want to acknowledge there are a lot of people who are black who we don't commonly acknowledge as black for various reasons, just because sometimes we misunderstand how phenotypes present. But anyway, because I was really most focused on talking to black people, especially black people in that category, check out Chimoge's Comments America. Again, I'm going to be posting more stuff there soon. Because I was focused on that, I didn't think I needed to comment on Trump. I mean, voting for Trump as a black person, willingly, coming out and saying out of your mouth you support Trump as a black person willingly, nini method. I didn't think I even had to comment. Obviously, inevitably, when you have to run by him when making your comment on what you want to talk about, you have to look at it and go, yes, it's bad. But anyway, I didn't think I had to comment. Even though there was some segments of the media saying things like black men support Trump, and they would put up numbers saying last election we had 5%, this election it's 7%. Overall, I was like, well, that just, I don't even have to comment on that. You know, that's not the driving support behind him. And then it just, I wasn't seeing people in the media saying that other than LA here and there. But now LA Najou. Nick Cannon is one of the latest. I've just seen a lot of LA. And Nick Cannon is one of the most prominent black men in the world. And he's just coming out, especially after he's gone through a phase. And again, there were hiccups, of course. And a lot of the hiccups I didn't support. But he came through a phase where he was trying to say he was Pan-African or whatever, pro-black. And now he supports Trump. Let me continue the greeting. So my government name is Chimoge Chijoke Ibe. My alternate white structure name is Chimoge Chijoke Ibe Moko. Ibe is the shortened form of Ibe Moko. Ibe was apparently shortened, or Ibe Moko was apparently shortened to Ibe because Caucasians have difficulty pronouncing Moko. Shout out to my great-great-grandfather, Moko, patrilineal now. My matrilineal village is Ebem Ohafia. The village that I want you to turn your eyes to as a reference point for my patrilineage is Oji Urata. Both of these villages are in West Africa. They're in the part of West Africa that is north of the sea and west of Central Africa. And I myself was born in what most people now call Southeast Washington, D.C. in 1998, January 2nd, 1998. Yes. I'm a son of Capricorn, born during Capricorn time. Currently living in Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, anyway. So, why else did I go in on Biden before? Because Biden was just actually a slightly more disrespectful Trump. And it's weird because, you see, at some point, this is why when you're looking at very high levels of evil, you need to sometimes just go and don't overanalyze. Now, did I get everything perfect when going in on Biden? No. But at no point did I tell people to vote for Trump. I just didn't speak about it too much. I decided to use language like, I was saying, like, don't vote Democrat. I was not saying vote Republican. I just kind of just said, well, at least if you voted Republican, it wouldn't contribute to the major trend I'm talking about. In hindsight, if I just, had more together, I would have just said, okay, absolutely don't vote Republican, don't vote Democrat. Or I would have just made it more clear. Because sometimes I kind of lie, but just not commenting on things. Because I didn't know what to do. Because I was like, listen, no one is really voting for that one in the constituency I'm talking to. And I know myself. I know myself even subconsciously. So as soon as I look at that, I'll make 10 videos about it. Let me not awaken Ishia Chen. Let's. What am I saying here? At some point, if you're being forced to say something bad, given your position, you have to scream. I think Nick Cannon, if something is forcing him to say he likes Trump, he has to scream. At some point, you have to stand for something. At some point, you have to stand for something. Maybe someone will come out and say, "Oh, I talked to him behind the cape, and the Green Goblin, the Green Goblin stole his wallet. Therefore." Let's just take a little pause here. I hit the paper, I get the cash. Let me not hit that. Which paper I'm gonna hit today? I hit the paper, I get the cash. I hit the paper, I get the cash. I hit the paper, I get the cash. Anyway, I've registered viewers. Thank you very much. Every view is a blessing. I see comments. Thank you for all the comments. Every comment is a blessing. I read them at my discretion. Have I even put up shorts? I don't think I did. Wow. That's the first one. Anyway, I think you guys get my drift. That is a word my ancestors are telling me to not use on air anymore. That is and I just want to make it clear. I said it in the past, I'll say it again. The president and any other leader in that echelon is not just one man; they're a group. You have to look at the overall group. So, when we're going at Trump, we have to look at the overall group he's a part of and have an overall asusu, overall action plan. Um, because that's the head of a group. So yeah, and then because that's the head of a group, we also have to look at the fact that there are chameleons in other groups that are part of his group, and I'll just leave it at that. That's the greatest man alive for today. Thank you very much. Let me put up another short. See you guys next time. Anyway, I'll never just if do not support Donald Trump. That is the affair for today. Goodbye.